In the early years of the 19th century, Europe found itself gripped by an unyielding fascination with invention and the mechanical wonders that seemed to promise a new age of progress. Factories and workshops buzzed with the efforts of artisans and tinkerers, their hands coaxing life from gears, springs, and cogs. It was an era when the boundaries between the natural and the artificial blurred in the popular imagination, and the smallest mechanical marvel could become the seed of legend. Within this ferment of curiosity and craftsmanship, a peculiar object emerged in 1811, a music box unlike any other, found in a quiet Austrian village nestled among rolling hills and dense forests. The village, remote and largely untouched by the rapid industrial waves sweeping larger cities, was home to a close-knit community where news traveled slowly, but stories flourished. It was here, amid cobblestone streets and humble wooden homes, that the music box first appeared, stirring a mixture of wonder and unease. The villagers spoke of it in hushed tones, for the box was said to possess a strange quality, one that defied the ordinary laws of mechanics and reason. Unlike the common music boxes that required winding, this one reportedly played its melodies on its own, without any visible cause or human touch. Before we continue, make sure to like and subscribe to never miss a new video. And tell me, where are you watching this video from? I love seeing all different people come together for these stories. The initial sighting occurred on an autumn evening when the sun had dipped below the horizon and a chill had settled over the village. The music box came into the hands of a young woman named Anna, whose family had long been rooted in the community. The incident was recounted with a blend of skepticism and awe by those who witnessed it. As the villagers gathered in Anna's modest home, the box sat quietly atop a wooden table, its polished surface catching the flickering candlelight. Then, without warning, soft notes began to drift into the room, delicate and haunting. No one had wound the key, nor had anyone touched the box since it had been placed there moments before. The music floated through the air, a melody both familiar and strangely otherworldly, as if summoned from an unseen realm. This unexplained phenomenon unsettled the villagers, who were accustomed to the predictable workings of the mechanical devices they knew. Music boxes were common enough, but they required human effort to coax their songs into being. The idea that one could play autonomously was not only baffling, but also tinged with a hint of the supernatural, a whisper of magic in an age that prized reason and scientific progress. The music box became the focal point of many conversations, with some villagers expressing fear that it might be cursed, while others saw it as a miracle or a sign from beyond. The timing of the music box's mysterious performance only deepened its mystique. It was during a particularly stormy night, when thunder rumbled across the distant mountains and rain lashed at the windows, that the box made its presence most profoundly known. Anna, unable to sleep, sat alone by the hearth, the flickering flames casting shadows that danced on the walls. In the silence broken only by the storm's fury, the music box began to play again, its melodies weaving through the room with an eerie clarity. It was as if the music was a voice reaching out from the dark, a message encoded in notes rather than words. Among those who witnessed these strange occurrences was Father Heinrich, the village priest, a man respected for his calm demeanor and thoughtful nature. Initially skeptical of tales that bordered on superstition, Heinrich found himself drawn to the music box by a mixture of duty and curiosity. He arrived at Anna's home during one of the box's nocturnal performances and listened intently to the music that seemed to flow without human intervention. The melodies stirred something deep within him, a sense of wonder mingled with unease. He pondered what meaning such a phenomenon might hold in the grand design of the world, caught between his faith and the inexplicable reality before him. The arrival of the music box in the village coincided with a period of uncertainty and change. Europe was still reeling from the aftermath of the Napoleonic Wars, and the people of the village, like many others, sought comfort in familiar traditions and community bonds. The box's enigmatic presence became a symbol of mystery in a time when the known world was shifting beneath their feet. It captured the imagination, not only because of its inexplicable nature, but also because it resonated with deeper questions about the unseen forces shaping human life. As days turned to weeks, the music box's reputation grew beyond the confines of Anna's home. News spread to neighboring villages and even to towns further afield, carried by travelers and merchants intrigued by the tales. The box was no longer merely an object. It had become a phenomenon, a puzzle that invited speculation and debate. Some claimed to hear different tunes emanating from it, while others swore the music could change with the phases of the moon or the moods of those nearby. These stories, passed from mouth to ear, transformed the music box into a legend that blurred the lines between fact and folklore. The villagers' responses to the music box varied widely. Children were enchanted by the idea of a box that played itself, imagining it as a gift from the fairies or spirits of the forest. Elderly residents, steeped in old superstitions, whispered warnings about meddling with forces beyond human understanding. Meanwhile, craftsmen and artisans examined the box with a mixture of professional interest and bewilderment, unable to discern any mechanism that could account for its autonomous melodies. The box challenged everything they thought they knew about their trade, introducing an element of mystery that resisted explanation. For Anna, the music box was more than a curiosity. It became a companion and a source of solace. She found herself returning to it during moments of solitude, drawn by the gentle music that seemed to speak directly to her soul. The box's presence in her life was profound, filling spaces that words could not, and offering a strange comfort amid the uncertainties of the world outside. Yet, she too grappled with questions. How could a simple object harbor such an inexplicable power? Was it a trick of the light or sound, or something far more extraordinary? The year 1811, marked by the music box's arrival in the village, stands as a testament to a time when the marvels of mechanical invention mingled with the mysteries of the unknown. The box's enigmatic autonomy challenged the neat divisions between science and superstition, art and nature. It invited those who encountered it to reconsider their assumptions about the world, to open their minds to possibilities beyond the tangible and the measurable. In this small Austrian village, the music box was not merely a device, but a symbol of an era poised between the certainties of the past and the wonders yet to come. Thus, the story begins, not with answers, but with questions. The music box's silent, self-playing songs echoed through the village, drawing in the curious, the fearful, and the hopeful alike. As the seasons turned and the years passed, this humble object would weave itself into the fabric of local life, its melodies threading through the hearts and minds of those who dared to listen. The music box stood as a quiet enigma, a mechanical riddle wrapped in mystery, heralding a journey into realms both mechanical and magical that awaited exploration. The music box's mysterious arrival in the village was only the beginning of a story that would soon become entwined with the life of one man, Jakob Müller, a local clockmaker whose reputation for intricate craftsmanship was whispered beyond the boundaries of the small Austrian settlement. Jakob was known among his neighbors not merely as a skilled artisan, but as a man deeply committed to the art of precision and beauty. His workshop, tucked away on a narrow lane lined with linden trees, was a sanctuary filled with the steady ticking of clocks, the soft clinking of tools, and the faint scent of wood shavings and oil. It was here that the music box had first come to life, or so the villagers believed. Jakob's life was as measured and meticulous as the mechanisms he created. Born in the village, he had spent years apprenticing with master clockmakers in Vienna before returning home to set up his own workshop. His hands, steady and sure, could coax the most delicate gears into perfect harmony, creating timepieces that were not only functional, but works of art. His clocks adorned the homes of the wealthy and the modest alike, each one a testament to his unwavering dedication and skill. Yet, despite his success, Jakob remained a quiet man, often lost in thought as he pondered the secrets of time and movement. The music box was Jakob's latest and most enigmatic creation, or perhaps, as some whispered, his greatest mystery. Unlike the clocks and watches he crafted, this box seemed to defy the very principles he held sacred. Crafted from fine walnut wood and inlaid with mother-of-pearl, it bore delicate engravings of swirling vines and blossoms that caught the light with a subtle shimmer. The mechanism inside was said to be unlike any other, a marvel of tiny springs and gears that, according to Jakob, held the promise of a new kind of musical experience. Yet, it was what the villagers observed after it left his hands that confounded all. Jakob himself became a figure wrapped in enigma when, shortly after completing the box, he vanished without a trace. One morning, his workshop was found unlocked and undisturbed, yet he was nowhere to be found. His tools lay scattered on the workbench as if he had simply stepped away, but no one saw him depart, and no message was left behind. The disappearance stunned the village, prompting whispered theories ranging from foul play to a mysterious journey undertaken in search of further inspiration. Some speculated that Jakob had become consumed by his own creation, that the music box held a secret he could no longer bear to keep. In the absence of Jakob, the music box passed into the care of his daughter, Anna Müller, a young woman whose quiet strength and gentle demeanor belied the weight of loss she carried. Anna had grown up watching her father work, absorbing the rhythms of his craft and the reverence he held for the delicate balance of mechanics and artistry. The music box was the last tangible link she had to him, a relic of his genius and a source of comfort amid the uncertainty left by his disappearance. She treasured the box not only for its beauty, but also for the strange, almost living presence it seemed to possess. Anna's guardianship of the music box was marked by a mixture of awe and trepidation. She was well aware of the local tales that surrounded it, the stories of the box playing itself, the eerie melodies that floated through the night, and the subtle changes that seemed to animate it beyond mere machinery. For Anna, the box was a mystery and a puzzle, a symbol of her father's legacy that she both cherished and feared. She became increasingly fascinated by its peculiar behavior, spending long hours watching and listening, searching for clues to its secret. The villagers, too, watched Anna and the box with growing curiosity. Some approached her with questions, others with caution, and a few with outright suspicion. The music box had become a subject of fascination and fear, a talisman that seemed to hold sway over the community's collective imagination. Anna found herself at the center of this unfolding legend, a custodian of a secret that transcended the ordinary world. Her connection to the box deepened as she noticed subtle changes in its music, variations in tempo, shifts in melody, and moments when the sound seemed to respond to her presence. Despite the mystery, Anna endeavored to understand the box through the lens of her father's craft. With a careful eye, she examined the delicate engravings and the intricate mechanism hidden beneath the wooden panels. She sought to find logical explanations, testing the box's movements and observing its responses to touch and sound. Yet each investigation only deepened the enigma. The box played without winding, its gears turning seemingly of their own accord, and no external source could be found to account for its autonomous melodies. It was as if the music box lived a life separate from the laws of physics and human intervention. The absence of Jakob left a void, not only in Anna's life, but throughout the village. Many speculated that his disappearance was linked to the music box, that perhaps in his pursuit of mechanical perfection, he had stumbled upon forces beyond human comprehension. Some whispered that Jakob had sought to imbue the box with a kind of life, a spark of animation that blurred the line between machine and spirit. These ideas, though dismissed by some as fanciful, took root in the fertile soil of the village's collective imagination, intertwining with old superstitions and the emerging fascination with science and invention. As the seasons changed, Anna's relationship with the music box evolved. What began as a keepsake became something more, a companion in solitude and a source of wonder that defied explanation. She found solace in its melodies during long winter nights, the music bridging the gap between past and present, between her father's absence and her own hopes. The box seemed to respond to her moods, its tunes shifting from joyful to melancholic, as if attuned to the rhythms of her heart. This intimate connection fueled Anna's desire to unlock its secrets, to understand the nature of the force that stirred within its wooden frame. The story of Jakob Müller and his mysterious music box began to spread beyond the village's borders, carried by travelers enchanted by the tale of the vanished clockmaker and his uncanny creation. Scholars and craftsmen from distant towns expressed interest, eager to witness the phenomenon firsthand. The music box, once a private treasure, was becoming a curiosity of wider renown, a symbol of the delicate dance between human ingenuity and the inexplicable. Its legacy was tied not only to the skill of its maker, but to the mystery that surrounded its autonomous melodies. In this way, the music box stood as a testament to the era's complex relationship with technology and the unknown. Jakob Müller's life and work embodied the tension between rational craftsmanship and the allure of mystery, a tension that would echo through the community for years to come. The box, inherited by his daughter Anna, was a living puzzle that challenged the boundaries of understanding and invited those who encountered it to ponder the possibilities that lay beyond the visible world. It was not merely an object, but a story woven into the very fabric of the village's history, a legacy of both creation and enigma. In the weeks that followed Jakob Müller's sudden disappearance, the music box's peculiar behavior grew more pronounced, casting an ever-deepening spell over Anna and the villagers alike. What had begun as an isolated curiosity blossomed into a series of baffling incidents that defied all attempts at rational explanation. The box, once a silent object resting on a shelf, seemed to take on a life of its own, playing melodies without any winding or human touch, often at the most unexpected moments. These autonomous performances stirred a mixture of wonder and unease throughout the village, drawing the attention of locals and visitors alike. The earliest signs of the music box's autonomy were subtle, easily dismissed as coincidence or illusion. Anna first noticed it one quiet afternoon, when after setting the box on a table, she turned away briefly to attend to household chores. Upon returning, she found the room filled with the delicate strains of music, the box's intricate tune unfolding without any apparent cause. Perplexed, she approached cautiously, half expecting to find a hidden mechanism or a trick of the light. Yet the box remained still to the touch, its key unwound, the gears silent beneath its polished surface. The music seemed to flow from nowhere, a ghostly melody that held the room in thrall. Word of these incidents spread quickly, and soon villagers began to gather at Anna's home, drawn by curiosity and the allure of the unexplained. Some came with skepticism, seeking to uncover the source of the mystery and expose a possible fraud. Others were more credulous, attributing the music box's strange behavior to supernatural forces or divine intervention. The local blacksmith, a practical man named Harold, attempted to replicate the phenomenon with his own music box, but failed to produce any autonomous sound. His failure only deepened the mystery, as the villagers grappled with the idea that this box was unlike any other. One of the most compelling accounts came from Father Heinrich, the village priest, whose presence lent a measure of gravity to the unfolding tale. On a stormy night, when thunder rolled across the hills and rain battered the rooftops, Heinrich visited Anna's home to offer comfort and counsel. As they sat beside the flickering fire, the music box began to play without warning, its melody rising above the storm's fury with an ethereal clarity. The priest listened intently, his expression a mixture of awe and contemplation. He later recounted how the music seemed to resonate with something deeper within him, stirring feelings of both peace and profound mystery. The phenomenon was not confined to a single melody or moment. Villagers reported that the music box's tunes appeared to change, sometimes shifting from joyful, lilting airs to somber, reflective strains. Some believed the box was communicating moods or emotions, responding to the atmosphere of the room or the feelings of those nearby. On occasion, the music would cease abruptly, leaving an eerie silence that filled the space with anticipation. Others swore the box's melodies aligned with phases of the moon or the arrival of certain visitors, weaving a tapestry of patterns that defied scientific understanding. Anna herself grew increasingly attuned to the box's behavior, developing a deep, almost intuitive connection with its music. She began to notice subtle cues that preceded the autonomous playing, a faint warmth emanating from the wood, a gentle vibration beneath her fingers, or a change in the ambient light. These signs became her guide, allowing her to anticipate when the box would awaken and fill the room with song. This extraordinary bond brought both comfort and a sense of responsibility, as Anna grappled with the implications of harboring an object whose power seemed to transcend the ordinary. The villagers' fascination soon turned into a communal obsession. Gatherings around the music box became regular events, occasions where neighbors and friends assembled to witness its enigmatic performances. The box took center stage in the modest parlor of Anna's home, its music weaving through the conversations and silences alike. In these moments, the village seemed to pause, united in a shared experience that blended wonder, fear, and hope. Some claimed the music brought healing, lifting spirits weighed down by hardship and loss, while others viewed it as a portent of forces beyond human control. Despite the growing attention, no one could explain the mechanism behind the music box's autonomy. Craftsmen and clockmakers from neighboring towns were invited to examine the box, their expertise challenged by its inscrutable workings. They dismantled and reassembled the device, scrutinizing every gear and spring, yet found nothing that could account for its self-playing nature. The box's construction bore all the hallmarks of Jakob Müller's masterful hand, yet it defied the very principles upon which his craft was founded. This contradiction fueled speculation that the box was imbued with a secret knowledge or power beyond mere mechanics. Among the visitors drawn to the village was a traveling scholar named Elias Bauer, whose interest in the music box would later prove instrumental in its wider recognition. Bauer was a man of science, trained in the emerging fields of physics and natural philosophy, and he arrived with a mixture of skepticism and curiosity. His initial investigations confirmed what others had found. The box contained no hidden engines, no external triggers, and no discernible cause for its spontaneous melodies. Yet he approached the phenomenon with a methodical mind, seeking natural explanations even as the evidence eluded him. The interplay between fear and fascination surrounding the music box reflected the broader tensions of the era. The early 1800s were a time when Enlightenment ideals championed reason and science, yet superstitions and spiritual beliefs remained deeply rooted in everyday life. The box became a symbol of this uneasy balance, a tangible object embodying the mysteries that lay at the edges of human understanding. Its autonomous music challenged the villagers' notions of reality, inviting them to consider the possibility that the world contained hidden layers beyond the reach of logic and tools. Anna's own reflections on the music box deepened as she wrestled with its implications. Was the box a mere trick of mechanics, a marvel of craftsmanship too subtle for ordinary eyes? Or did it possess a spark of something more, an echo of Jakob's spirit, a fragment of the unseen forces that govern existence? These questions haunted her, even as she found comfort in the box's melodies and the community it brought together. The music box was no longer simply an object. It had become a living presence in the village's life, a source of mystery and meaning that resisted easy answers. As the music box continued to play itself, its songs threading through the rhythms of daily life, the village found itself transformed. The once quiet settlement was now a place of intrigue and wonder, where the boundaries between the mechanical and the magical blurred. The box's melodies became a soundtrack to moments of joy and sorrow, hope and doubt, binding the community in a shared journey into the unknown. Each note carried with it a question, a challenge, and an invitation to listen closely, to believe, and to embrace the mysteries that linger just beyond the reach of reason. The growing enigma of the music box soon attracted the attention of more than just the villagers and the occasional traveler. With whispers of its uncanny autonomy spreading beyond the hamlet's confines, a series of earnest attempts to unravel the mystery began to take shape. Experts and curious minds alike were drawn to Anna's home, each bringing their own methods and beliefs to the challenge of understanding this seemingly impossible phenomenon. Yet, despite their varied approaches, all investigations converged on the same baffling conclusion. The music box played without any discernible cause. The first to undertake a thorough examination were local craftsmen, skilled in the delicate arts of clockmaking and mechanical repair. They approached the box with practiced hands, instruments ready to dissect and analyze every cog, spring, and lever. Their scrutiny was exhaustive, involving repeated dissections and reassemblies under candlelight, their magnifying glasses revealing the finest detail of Jakob Müller's craftsmanship. Every component was tested for hidden mechanisms or concealed triggers, yet no hidden winding key, no secret spring, no concealed bellows could be found. The music box's mechanism appeared entirely conventional on the surface, but its behavior defied all known mechanical principles. This absence of explanation unsettled even the most pragmatic among them. The village blacksmith Harold, who had once dismissed the phenomenon as superstition, found himself confounded by the box's persistent melody. His practical mind struggled to reconcile the experience with his understanding of tools and machines. Others speculated about the possibility of trickery, a concealed accomplice or a hidden weight that might activate the music. Yet repeated observations under watchful eyes yielded nothing. The box's song emerged unbidden, with no human hand to prompt it. The investigations soon attracted attention beyond the village's borders. A few learned men from the nearest towns arrived, their credentials lending an air of authority to the inquiries. Among them was a scholar versed in natural philosophy, who approached the mystery with a blend of skepticism and open-mindedness characteristic of the period's scientific awakening. The scholar conducted experiments designed to detect external influences, magnetic fields, vibrations, or acoustics that might trigger the music box without direct contact. Instruments were employed to measure subtle fluctuations in the environment, yet none corresponded with the moments when the box played its haunting melodies. As these attempts failed to uncover a mechanical cause, the villagers' reactions oscillated between fear and fascination. Rumors began to circulate that the music box might be possessed by a spirit or enchanted by some otherworldly force. Elders recalled tales from their youth of objects imbued with life by unseen energies or divine intervention. Some whispered that Jakob Müller, in his obsessive craftsmanship, had unwittingly tapped into a secret realm where machinery and magic intertwined. Others feared that such forces might bring misfortune or invite malevolent attention. In this way, the music box became a symbol not only of marvel, but of unease, a talisman that both enchanted and unsettled. The interplay of science and superstition surrounding the box mirrored the cultural tensions of the early 19th century. The Enlightenment, with its emphasis on reason and empirical evidence, was still shaping the intellectual landscape, yet many communities clung to older beliefs and folklore. The music box became a focal point where these currents converged, challenging the villagers' understanding of reality. For some, it was a test of faith in reason. For others, a confirmation of mysteries that reason could not penetrate. Among the more intriguing theories was the suggestion that the music box might be influenced by natural phenomena invisible to the human eye. Some posited that subtle magnetic forces, perhaps emanating from the earth or nearby minerals, might animate the mechanism in unexpected ways. Others speculated that acoustic resonance or sympathetic vibrations could set the gears in motion without physical contact. These hypotheses, while grounded in emerging scientific thought, lacked concrete evidence and were difficult to test given the limitations of contemporary instruments. The music box's persistent autonomy also inspired philosophical reflection among some of the villagers and visitors. What did it mean for an object to appear to act independently, without a visible agent? Could inanimate things possess a form of agency or life? These questions touched on broader debates circulating in intellectual circles about animism, vitalism, and the nature of consciousness. Some thinkers proposed that life might not be confined to organic beings, but could extend, in some faint degree, to crafted objects, an idea both thrilling and unsettling. During one of the many gatherings organized to observe the box's behavior, Father Heinrich addressed the assembled crowd with a measured voice. He cautioned against jumping to supernatural conclusions without careful consideration, urging a balance between faith and reason. Yet even he admitted that the music box's mystery defied easy categorization. The melodies it produced seemed to reach beyond mere sound, touching the hearts of listeners in ways that transcended explanation. His words resonated deeply, encapsulating the paradox at the heart of the phenomenon. The investigative efforts were marked by moments of both hope and frustration. Each new theory brought a surge of excitement, only to be tempered by the stubborn persistence of the unexplained. The box's music continued to emerge unpredictably, its melodies sometimes shifting in tone and tempo, as if guided by an unseen hand. These variations only deepened the sense that the box was more than the sum of its parts, an enigmatic presence that eluded the grasp of human understanding. As interest in the music box spread, so too did the stories and legends that grew around it. The villagers began to weave narratives that blended observation with imagination, creating a rich tapestry of folklore. Songs were sung about the box's mysterious tunes, tales told of its origins and powers, and artistic depictions began to appear in local crafts and paintings. The music box became a cultural symbol, a bridge between the tangible world of gears and springs and the intangible realm of spirit and mystery. Yet, amid the growing mythos, the box remained a physical object, an exquisite artifact of wood and metal, crafted with care and precision by Jakob Müller. Its existence grounded the swirling stories, anchoring them in reality even as they reached toward the supernatural. This duality, between the measurable and the mysterious, defined the music box's place in the village's life. It was both a puzzle to be solved and a story to be lived, a reminder of the limits of human knowledge and the enduring allure of the unknown. In this crucible of inquiry and imagination, the music box continued to play its silent riddles, inviting those who listened to ponder the boundaries between artifice and life, science and magic. The efforts to understand it revealed as much about the observers as about the object itself, reflecting their hopes, fears, and the restless human desire to find meaning in the inexplicable. The music box was no longer simply a device. It had become a catalyst for questioning, a symbol of the mysteries that lie just beyond the reach of certainty. As the seasons turned and years quietly unfolded, the music box transitioned from a mere curiosity into a defining element of village life, its mysterious melodies weaving themselves into the fabric of daily existence. What had begun as a perplexing anomaly gradually took on the character of a local legend, one that shaped the rhythms of the community and inspired a cultural transformation. The small Austrian village, once marked by its tranquil routine and insular ways, found itself enlivened by the music box's elusive presence, which became both a source of fascination and a catalyst for communal gatherings. Anna, as the box's devoted custodian, found herself at the heart of this evolving story. The music box, with its self-playing tunes that defied all explanation, had become more than an object to her. It was a companion, a silent witness to moments of joy, sorrow, and reflection. She came to regard its melodies as a language of their own, speaking in notes that conveyed emotions words often failed to capture. In long evenings by the fire, she would sit quietly, listening as the box sang to her, its music shifting in mood and texture, as if responding to the unspoken currents of her thoughts and feelings. The villagers, too, embraced the music box's enigmatic charm. It became a focal point for gatherings, where neighbors convened in Anna's modest home to share in the wonder of its spontaneous concerts. These assemblies provided respite from the hardships of rural life, offering a space where stories were exchanged, friendships deepened, and the mysteries of the box sparked lively discussion. The music box's performances punctuated these meetings with moments of enchantment, its melodies evoking nostalgia, hope, or solemnity depending on the hour. Over time, the box's role extended beyond entertainment. It became a symbol of connection, a bridge linking generations and social divides. Elders recounted tales of the box's earliest known episodes, passing down their memories to children who listened wide-eyed, eager to be part of the unfolding legend. Artisans incorporated its likeness into carvings and paintings, while local poets and singers composed verses inspired by its haunting tunes. The music box transcended its mechanical nature to become a vessel of shared identity and communal heritage. The passage of years did not diminish the box's allure. If anything, its continued autonomy heightened the sense of wonder. It was said that the box's music accompanied the changing seasons, its melodies shifting in harmony with the cycles of nature. Spring brought lively, joyful airs, while autumn's approach saw more reflective, melancholic strains. Such observations deepened the villagers' belief that the box was attuned not only to human emotion, but to the broader rhythms of the world around them. This perception enriched the box's place in local folklore, casting it as a mediator between the earthly and the ethereal. Anna's own attachment to the music box grew more profound as she witnessed its influence on those around her. She noted how the box's melodies could soothe the distressed, inspire the weary, and kindle hope in hearts shadowed by loss. Its music became a balm in times of illness and a celebratory herald at moments of joy. The box's presence was woven into the village's collective memory, an ever-present thread linking individual lives to a shared story that transcended the mundane. The villagers' relationship with the box was not without complexity. While many embraced its mystery with reverence and affection, some harbored lingering unease. The box's autonomous playing challenged deeply held beliefs about the natural order and the limits of human control. Whispers persisted that the box might be a conduit for forces beyond their understanding, forces that could bring blessing or curse. Such ambivalence was characteristic of the era, reflecting a society negotiating the tensions between tradition and progress, faith and reason. Despite these undercurrents, the music box's role as a cultural touchstone was undeniable. It inspired creativity and reflection, becoming a subject of artistic expression and philosophical contemplation. Local musicians endeavored to replicate its tunes on their instruments, while painters and woodworkers sought to capture its form and spirit in their crafts. The box's image appeared in folk art. Its signature melodies echoed in songs sung at village festivals. Through these expressions, the music box transcended its physicality to inhabit the imaginations and hearts of the community. The box also became a silent witness to the passage of time and the changes it brought. As younger generations grew up with stories of the box's uncanny music, they inherited a legacy that blended wonder with mystery. The village, once isolated, found itself connected to a broader discourse on the nature of life, art, and the unknown. Visitors drawn by tales of the music box brought news from distant places, new ideas, and fresh perspectives. The box's legend thus became a living dialogue between past and present, tradition and innovation. Throughout these years, Anna remained the steadfast guardian of the music box, her life intertwined with its continuing story. She took upon herself the responsibility of preserving the box and its melodies, mindful of the fragile balance between revelation and mystery. Her care ensured that the music box remained both a cherished treasure and a source of ongoing inquiry. Anna's devotion embodied the human desire to hold on to wonder, to find meaning in the inexplicable, and to nurture connections that transcend the limits of time and knowledge. The music box's growing legend also sparked a subtle transformation in the village's social fabric. It fostered a sense of unity, drawing together individuals across divides of age, occupation, and belief. Shared experiences centered on the box's music, became moments of communal identity, reinforcing bonds and creating traditions that would endure. The box's melodies, unpredictable yet familiar, provided a soundtrack to the village's evolving story, echoing in celebrations, quiet moments, and collective remembrance. In this way, the music box became more than an object of mystery. It became a living symbol of the village's spirit and resilience. Its autonomous performances invited each listener to engage in a personal dialogue with the unknown, encouraging openness to wonder and the acceptance of questions without immediate answers. The box's enduring presence was a reminder that some mysteries are not meant to be solved, but lived with, cherished as part of the human experience. As the years passed, the music box's story grew richer and more complex, its melodies threading through the lives of those who heard them. It became a touchstone for reflection on the nature of time, memory, and the unseen forces that shape existence. The box's role in village life illustrated how a single object, imbued with mystery and beauty, could inspire transformation on both personal and communal levels. It stood as a testament to the enduring power of wonder and the human capacity to find meaning amid uncertainty. Thus, the music box's presence in the village transcended the boundaries of mere craftsmanship or curiosity. It became a beacon of connection, creativity, and contemplation, a source of comfort and inspiration that resonated across generations. Its melodies, at once mechanical and magical, continued to echo through the village's shared history, inviting all who listened to ponder the delicate interplay between the known and the unknown, the tangible and the intangible. Through its autonomous song, the music box wove a timeless narrative, one of mystery, community, and the enduring allure of the unexplained. In the year 1820, nearly a decade after the music box had first captured the village's imagination, a new figure arrived whose presence would deepen the mystery and widen its reach. Elias Bauer was a traveling inventor and mechanical engineer, a man whose reputation for keen intellect and insatiable curiosity preceded him. Dressed in the practical attire of his trade, with sleeves often rolled up to reveal hands calloused by years of meticulous work, Bauer journeyed from town to town, seeking out unusual devices and mechanical marvels. His arrival in the small Austrian village was prompted by tales of the autonomous music box, stories that had spread through the region and piqued his scientific interest. Bauer was no stranger to the wonders and puzzles of his craft. Having studied under prominent inventors in the larger cities, he was well versed in the principles of mechanics, acoustics, and emerging technologies. Yet the accounts of a music box that played itself without winding or human intervention challenged even his seasoned expertise. Upon hearing these stories from villagers and witnessing the box firsthand, Bauer approached it not as a mystic, but as a skeptic, armed with experience and tools designed to uncover hidden truths. The inventor's first encounter with the music box was marked by a careful and methodical examination. Bauer requested to see the box in Anna's home, where the villagers gathered with a mixture of anticipation and reverence. With practiced hands, he inspected the finely crafted walnut casing, the delicate mother-of-pearl inlays, and the intricate engravings that adorned the surface. He opened the box to reveal its inner machinery, a complex array of gears, springs, and levers that exemplified Jakob Müller's renowned craftsmanship. Yet, despite its apparent complexity, the mechanism conformed to the known principles of clockwork, with no visible modifications or additions that could account for autonomous operation. Bauer's analysis went beyond surface observations. He employed magnifying lenses and rudimentary measuring instruments, scrutinizing each component for signs of hidden devices or tampering. He tested the tension of springs, the alignment of gears, and the responsiveness of levers, searching for any irregularity that might explain the box's mysterious melodies. Despite this meticulous inquiry, the mechanism appeared conventional and intact, lacking any concealed apparatus or external trigger. The music box was, in essence, a masterful yet ordinary example of mechanical music-making, except for its inexplicable ability to play without being wound. This paradox captivated Bauer's scientific mind. He conducted a series of experiments designed to observe the box's behavior under controlled conditions. He placed it in different environments, on wooden tables, stone surfaces, and metal stands, monitoring for vibrations, magnetic influences, or acoustic resonances that might activate the mechanism. He subjected the box to various stimuli, including temperature changes and exposure to light, all in an attempt to elucidate the source of its autonomous melodies. Yet the music persisted, emerging unpredictably and without any discernible cause. Bauer's astonishment grew as he documented each occurrence with precision. He noted the timings of the box's self-playing episodes, the varying melodies it produced, and the absence of any human intervention. His detailed records reflected a man grappling with a phenomenon that defied established mechanical laws. Though trained to seek logical explanations, Bauer found himself confronted with an enigma that challenged the very foundation of his expertise. The music box's behavior suggested an agency or force beyond mere machinery, an idea both thrilling and disconcerting to a man of science. Despite his initial skepticism, Bauer approached the music box with a blend of respect and open-mindedness. He recognized that the device embodied a mystery that bridged the realms of craftsmanship, natural philosophy, and perhaps something yet unknown. His investigations, while rigorous, also acknowledged the limitations of contemporary knowledge and instruments. He pondered whether the music box might represent an intersection where science and the unexplained converged, a boundary where mechanical ingenuity met forces not yet understood. Bauer's presence in the village sparked renewed interest and discussion among the locals. His reputation lent credibility to the music box's mystery, transforming it from a local oddity into a subject worthy of serious inquiry. Villagers welcomed his questions and observations, eager to hear the insights of a learned man while holding fast to their own beliefs and experiences. The inventor's willingness to engage with the phenomenon without dismissing it outright fostered a spirit of curiosity and openness, bridging the gap between scientific investigation and communal wonder. During his stay, Bauer also explored the broader context of the music box's existence. He conversed with Anna about her experiences and the box's history, piecing together the narrative of Jakob Müller's craftsmanship and disappearance. He examined the village's folklore, noting how the music box had inspired stories, songs, and artistic expressions. This holistic approach reflected his understanding that the music box was more than a mechanical device. It was a cultural artifact embedded in the life and imagination of the community. Bauer's detailed analysis extended to the theoretical realm as well. He speculated on natural phenomena that might account for the music box's behavior, drawing on the scientific knowledge of his time. He considered magnetic fields, acoustic vibrations, and even the influence of atmospheric electricity as possible triggers. These theories, while plausible within the frameworks of early 19th century science, remained speculative due to the lack of direct evidence. Nonetheless, Bauer's willingness to entertain such possibilities underscored the music box's role as a catalyst for expanding scientific inquiry. The inventor's engagement with the music box also highlighted the era's intellectual landscape, a time when the boundaries between science, philosophy, and mysticism were often fluid. Bauer embodied this spirit of exploration, embodying both the rational rigor of the Enlightenment and the openness to wonder characteristic of Romanticism. His visit to the village and study of the music box were emblematic of a broader quest to understand the world's mysteries through observation, experimentation, and reflection. Bauer's investigations culminated in a series of notes and sketches, documenting the music box's design, behavior, and the context of its phenomenon. Though he refrained from offering definitive explanations, his work contributed to the growing body of knowledge surrounding unexplained mechanical occurrences. His records would later inspire other inventors and scholars to examine similar devices, fostering a dialogue that transcended the village and influenced wider scientific and cultural circles. The music box, under Bauer's scrutiny, remained as enigmatic as ever, a marvel of craftsmanship that played itself without cause, defying the conventions of its time. Yet, through his inquiry, the box gained a new dimension. It became a bridge between the known and the unknown, a symbol of the mysteries lurking at the edges of human understanding. Bauer's study did not solve the puzzle, but it enriched the story, inviting future generations to continue the search for meaning in the music box's silent riddles. In this way, the arrival of Elias Bauer marked a pivotal chapter in the music box's history. His scientific gaze illuminated facets of the enigma previously unseen, while his respectful curiosity affirmed the box's place as an object of wonder. The inventor's presence deepened the community's engagement with the phenomenon, blending empirical investigation with cultural reverence. Through Bauer's eyes, the music box emerged as both a mechanical wonder and a philosophical mystery, its melodies echoing across time, inviting all who heard them to listen closely and ponder the delicate boundary between artifice and life. Elias Bauer's meticulous examination of the music box not only deepened the local intrigue, but also propelled the phenomenon into the realm of scientific and philosophical debate, stirring questions that reached far beyond the village's borders. As Bauer pondered the baffling autonomy of the box, he found himself drawn into the intellectual currents of his era, a time when the boundaries of natural philosophy were expanding, and early science grappled with mysteries that defied easy explanation. One of Bauer's foremost considerations revolved around the possibility of natural forces acting upon the mechanism in subtle, previously unrecognized ways. The early 19th century was an age of burgeoning scientific discovery, yet many phenomena remained elusive, teasing the minds of inventors and scholars alike. Bauer speculated that magnetic influences might be at play, given his awareness of the Earth's magnetism and its effects on compass needles and metallic objects. Could the music box's delicate gears and springs be responding to fluctuating magnetic fields generated by the surrounding environment or by deposits of iron-rich minerals beneath the village? To explore this hypothesis, Bauer conducted a series of experiments, placing the music box near naturally occurring magnets and observing its behavior. He sought correlations between magnetic intensity and the box's autonomous playing, yet the results were inconclusive. The melodies emerged unpredictably, with no clear pattern linked to magnetic fluctuations. Still, the idea that unseen forces might influence mechanical devices resonated with the scientific inquiries of the time, reflecting a growing awareness that the natural world harbored hidden energies. Another avenue Bauer considered was the role of acoustic phenomena. Sound waves, especially at certain frequencies, can induce vibrations and resonance in objects, a principle that would later become fundamental in physics and engineering. Bauer entertained the possibility that ambient sounds, whether from the village, the forest, or the elements, might set the music box's internal components into motion. He experimented with various sounds and tones, using rudimentary instruments to generate vibrations near the box. Yet these efforts failed to replicate the spontaneous melodies that had so captivated the villagers. Bauer's curiosity also extended to atmospheric and electrical phenomena. The early 1800s were marked by pioneering studies into electricity and its effects, and the concept of invisible forces shaping the physical world was gaining traction. He speculated that static electricity or subtle atmospheric charges might interact with the box's mechanism, triggering the complex sequence of movements that produced music. While this theory was imaginative, it remained speculative, as the tools to measure such fine electrical interactions were not yet developed. Nevertheless, Bauer's openness to these possibilities highlighted the fluid boundaries between emerging science and the unknown. Beyond the technical aspects of his inquiry, Bauer found himself reflecting on the broader implications of the music box's behavior. The device challenged the prevailing notions of agency and causality, raising profound philosophical questions about the nature of life, consciousness, and the forces that animate the world. Was it conceivable, he wondered, that an inanimate object could exhibit a form of self-directed action? Could the box be considered alive in some faint sense? Or was it merely responding to external stimuli, too subtle for human perception? These questions intersected with contemporary debates among thinkers about animism and vitalism, the idea that living beings possess a vital force distinct from physical matter. Some scholars posited that this vital force might extend, in a diminished form, to non-living entities, imbuing them with a spark of life or consciousness. The music box, with its autonomous melodies and apparent and aspirations, a reminder that some of life's deepest truths are conveyed not in words, but in melody. Through Bauer's lens, the music box emerged as a nexus where science, philosophy, and art converged. Its autonomous playing was both a puzzle to be solved and a metaphor to be contemplated, a phenomenon that transcended the mechanical to touch the realm of the ineffable. The box's melodies echoed through the minds of those who studied it, inspiring a sense of wonder that bridged the gap between knowledge and mystery. In this interplay, the music box found its enduring place as a catalyst for curiosity, reflection, and the celebration of the unknown. As the legend of the autonomous music box rippled beyond the quiet village, its influence seeped deeply into the cultural and artistic life of the region, transforming the object from a mere mechanical curiosity into a symbol rich with meaning and inspiration. Over time, the music box's enigmatic melodies became more than fleeting sounds. They wove themselves into the fabric of local folklore, giving rise to stories and songs that traversed generations, and imbuing the artifact with a spiritual significance that transcended its wooden casing. The villagers, inspired by the box's mysterious self-playing nature, began to craft narratives that blended fact and imagination, weaving tales that explained the box's origins and powers in ways both fanciful and profound. These stories often portrayed the box as a bridge between the material and spiritual worlds, a conduit through which unseen forces whispered their secrets in haunting melodies. Some legends told of Jakob Müller, the vanished clockmaker, imbuing his creation with a soul, his spirit eternally entwined with the box's music. Others spoke of the box as a gift from the forest spirits, or celestial beings, sent to remind humanity of deeper truths hidden beneath everyday life. This burgeoning folklore found expression in the village's oral traditions, passed down from elders to children, gathered around hearth fires on cold winter nights. The music box's tunes were not only heard but felt, becoming a language that conveyed emotions and stories beyond words. Mothers sang lullabies inspired by the box's melodies, Poets composed verses that evoked its mysterious charm, and storytellers embellished its tale with elements of magic and wonder. Through these cultural transmissions, the music box became a living symbol, its resonance extending far beyond the physical object itself. Artists and craftsmen, moved by the music box's ethereal presence, sought to capture its essence in their works. Local painters rendered scenes of the box bathed in moonlight, its polished wood gleaming as notes seemed to float from its open lid. Woodcarvers created delicate replicas, intricately detailed to honor Jakob Müller's original craftsmanship, while musicians endeavored to reproduce the box's unique melodies on violins, flutes, and harpsichords. These creative endeavors not only celebrated the box's mystery, but also fostered a shared cultural identity rooted in the appreciation of beauty, craftsmanship, and the unknown. The music box's influence also extended into the early Romantic movement, which was beginning to sweep through Europe at the time. Romantic artists and thinkers prized emotion, nature, and the sublime, often seeking inspiration in the mysterious and the unexplained. The autonomous music box, with its blend of mechanical precision and seemingly magical autonomy, epitomized the Romantic ideal of the uncanny, a fusion of human ingenuity and the ineffable forces of the natural world. Its melodies evoked a sense of longing and wonder, resonating with the era's fascination with the mystical and the transcendent. In this context, the music box became more than an artifact. It was a muse, inspiring creative expression that bridged the gap between the tangible and the intangible. Poets wrote verses pondering the nature of the box's self-playing music, questioning whether it was the voice of the maker's spirit, the whisper of nature itself, or a manifestation of the human soul's yearning for connection. These reflections enriched the cultural tapestry surrounding the box, situating it within broader philosophical and artistic conversations about agency, life, and mystery. Folklore surrounding the box evolved to include allegories and metaphors that spoke to universal human experiences. The music box came to symbolize the delicate balance between order and chaos, the known and the unknown, the finite and the infinite. Its autonomous melodies suggested a hidden harmony underlying the apparent randomness of life, a secret music that shaped existence beyond human comprehension. This symbolism offered comfort and inspiration, encouraging listeners to embrace uncertainty and find beauty in the mysterious rhythms of the world. The box's cultural impact was not confined to stories and art. It also influenced communal rituals and celebrations. Village festivals began to feature performances inspired by its music, with dancers and musicians recreating the box's haunting tunes in public squares. These gatherings reinforced social bonds and collective identity, using the music box as a focal point for communal expression and shared wonder. The box's melodies became a soundtrack for rites of passage, seasonal observances, and moments of remembrance, weaving its presence into the cycles of community life. As the music box's legend grew, it attracted the attention of travelers, artists, and scholars from beyond the village. Visitors came seeking to witness the phenomenon themselves, bringing fresh perspectives and creative energies that further enriched the box's cultural significance. Their accounts and artistic interpretations helped disseminate the box's story across regions, embedding it within a wider network of folklore and artistic tradition. The music box thus became a cultural ambassador, a symbol of mystery and beauty that transcended geographic and social boundaries. This expanding cultural presence also sparked dialogues about the relationship between technology and the human spirit. The music box, as a mechanical object imbued with seeming autonomy and emotional resonance, challenged conventional distinctions between machine and living being. artists and thinkers debated whether such devices could possess a form of soul or consciousness, or whether their beauty lay solely in human craftsmanship and imagination. These discussions reflected broader anxieties and hopes about the rapidly changing technological landscape of the era, as societies grappled with the implications of mechanization and industrialization. Within the village, the music box's enduring mystery fostered a sense of wonder that permeated daily life. Its melodies became a reminder of the unseen forces that shape existence, encouraging mindfulness and reverence. The box invited its listeners to look beyond surface appearances, to seek meaning in the subtle harmonies of the world around them. In doing so, it nurtured a cultural ethos that valued curiosity, imagination, and the embrace of the unknown. Through its journey from a crafted object to a cultural icon, the music box illustrated the power of mystery to inspire creativity and community. Its autonomous music served as both a literal and metaphorical call, an invitation to explore the interplay between the material and the spiritual, the mechanical and the magical. The box's legacy was not confined to its physical form, but lived on in the stories, songs, and artistic expressions it inspired, echoing through the hearts and minds of those who encountered its melody. In this way, the music box became a symbol of the human desire to connect with something greater than ourselves, a bridge to realms of imagination and spirit that transcend time and place. Its influence on folklore and art underscored the enduring capacity of mystery to enrich culture, foster community, and expand the horizons of understanding. The music box's haunting tunes thus continue to resonate, inviting all who hear them to partake in a shared journey of wonder and discovery. The music box's enduring enigma, with its seemingly autonomous melodies and haunting presence, invited not only artistic celebration, but profound philosophical reflection. As the villagers and visitors alike grappled with the mystery, questions arose that pierced the boundaries of mechanics and ventured deep into the nature of agency, consciousness, and the very essence of life itself. The music box became a catalyst for contemplating the enigmatic forces that animate existence, challenging prevailing notions of what it means for something to possess will or purpose. At the heart of these reflections was the paradox of an object that appeared to act independently, without a visible agent to guide its motions. Could an inanimate machine be said to possess its own agency? This question unsettled the villagers and intrigued the broader intellectual currents of the era. The music box's behavior defied simple causality, its melodies unfolding without human intervention, yet with a coherence and variation that suggested intention. Such phenomena stirred debates about the boundaries between the living and the non-living, the conscious and the mechanical. Philosophers of the time were engaged in vibrant discussions surrounding animism and vitalism, theories proposing that life and spirit pervade not only organic beings, but also extend, in some form, to inanimate matter. These ideas posited that a vital force or soul might imbue objects, granting them a degree of autonomy or consciousness. The music box, with its self-playing tunes, became a tangible embodiment of these abstract concepts, a mechanical riddle that blurred the line between machine and living entity. Its existence challenged the strict dualism that separated subject and object, life and mechanism. The era's intellectual landscape was further shaped by burgeoning inquiries into the nature of consciousness and the mind. Thinkers pondered whether consciousness could arise from complex arrangements of matter, or whether it required a distinct, immaterial essence. The music box, as a crafted assembly of gears producing seemingly purposeful melodies without human touch, provoked questions about the minimal conditions necessary for agency. Was the box merely a sophisticated automaton, or did it hint at a nascent form of selfhood embedded within its mechanism? These philosophical musings extended beyond abstract theorizing to touch on human perceptions of will and intentionality. The villagers often attributed emotional qualities to the box's music: joy, melancholy, longing, suggesting that they perceived the box as a sentient participant in their lives. This attribution raised questions about the human tendency to project agency onto objects, to find life and meaning in the patterns they observe. The music box thus became a mirror, reflecting the human desire to connect with the world in ways that transcend mere physical interaction. Religious and spiritual perspectives further enriched these reflections. Some saw the box's autonomous melodies as evidence of divine presence or intervention, a sign that the spiritual realm could manifest through earthly objects. The music box was interpreted as a symbol of the soul's persistence beyond death, a reminder that unseen forces guide and sustain life. These interpretations underscored the profound human need to find meaning and comfort in the face of mystery and uncertainty. At the same time, the music box inspired caution and ambivalence. The idea of machines possessing autonomy raised fears about loss of control and the unsettling possibility that human creations might harbor unknown powers. The villagers' mixed reactions, ranging from reverence to suspicion, reflected broader cultural anxieties about technology's role and the boundaries between human and machine. The music box became a symbol of both wonder and unease, embodying the tension between mastery and mystery. Philosophical debates around the box also engaged with questions of causality and determinism. The music box's autonomous playing suggested a break from the predictable chains of cause and effect, introducing a sense of spontaneity and freedom into the mechanical realm. This phenomenon challenged mechanistic worldviews that saw all motion as the result of prior causes, inviting reconsideration of how agency might emerge from complex systems. The box's melodies hinted at a hidden dynamism within the apparently inert, a subtle assertion of freedom within constraint. Artists and thinkers found in the music box a powerful metaphor for the human condition. Its autonomous music symbolized the interplay between structure and creativity, the tension between order and chaos that defines much of human experience. The box's melodies, unfolding without direct control, yet resonant with meaning, mirrored the ways in which life unfolds, partly shaped by external forces, partly guided by inner impulses. This metaphor enriched cultural understandings of agency, emphasizing openness to mystery and the acceptance of uncertainty. The music box also provoked reflections on the relationship between creator and creation. Jakob Müller's disappearance and the box's continued autonomy raised poignant questions about legacy, intention, and the life of objects beyond their makers. Did the box carry a piece of its creator's spirit, or had it transcended human authorship to become something new and unknowable? This theme echoed broader human concerns about mortality and the enduring impact of one's work on the world. Through these philosophical and cultural engagements, the music box transcended its physicality to become a symbol of the profound mysteries that animate existence. It invited listeners and thinkers to embrace paradox and complexity, to acknowledge that some aspects of reality resist reduction to simple explanations. The box's autonomous melodies served as a reminder that life and agency might manifest in forms both familiar and strange, challenging assumptions and expanding horizons. In this way, the music box became a locus for exploring the boundaries of knowledge and belief. It stood at the intersection of science, philosophy, art, and spirituality, embodying the tensions and harmonies that define the human quest for understanding. Its story encouraged humility before the unknown and celebrated the enduring power of wonder, a testament to the mysteries that lie just beyond the reach of reason, but at the heart of human experience. Thus, the music box's silent song echoed not only through the village, but through the corridors of thought and imagination, inviting all who heard it to ponder the nature of agency, the essence of life, and the delicate dance between the mechanical and the living. It remains a haunting reminder that some questions endure not to be solved, but to inspire, beckoning humanity to listen deeply and to marvel at the mysteries that shape our world. The music box's story, woven through years of mystery, inquiry, and cultural reverence, took its place not only in the annals of the village's history, but also within the broader narrative of unexplained mechanical phenomena that intrigued scientists, artists, and philosophers alike. Its enigmatic melodies and autonomous performances transcended time, inspiring generations to explore the delicate boundaries between the known and the unknown, the mechanical and the magical. In historical accounts that emerged throughout the 19th century, the music box was cited as a prime example of phenomena that challenged conventional scientific understanding. Scholars referenced its case in discussions of automata, questioning the limits of human craftsmanship and the possibility of machines exhibiting traits akin to life. The box's reputation grew beyond its small Austrian village, entering the lexicon of unexplained wonders that fueled both skepticism and fascination across Europe. The music box's enduring allure lay not only in its mechanical ingenuity, but in its power to inspire curiosity and imagination. It became a symbol of the mysteries inherent in early technology, a reminder that innovation often intersects with the uncharted territories of experience and belief. Its self-playing melodies invited those who encountered it to question the assumptions of their time and to embrace the complexities that lie beyond immediate comprehension. This fascination contributed to a broader cultural movement that sought to reconcile scientific progress with the human yearning for meaning and wonder. The music box's story underscored the importance of humility in the face of mystery, encouraging a spirit of open inquiry that balanced rational investigation with reverence for the unknown. It exemplified the tension between empirical evidence and the intangible qualities that imbue objects and experiences with significance. The phenomenon of the music box also influenced practical developments in the fields of mechanics and medicine. Its case highlighted the need for more rigorous examination of mechanical devices and of phenomena that seemed to defy explanation, prompting improvements in the protocols for verifying the functions and causes behind unusual occurrences. This scrutiny extended to related areas such as the verification of death and the prevention of premature burial, concerns that were pressing in an age when medical science was still evolving. Moreover, the music box inspired inventors and engineers to push the boundaries of mechanical design, seeking to replicate or understand the principles behind autonomous operation. Its mystery spurred innovation, serving as both a challenge and a muse for those striving to create machines that could mimic life's complexity. The box's legacy thus contributed to the gradual evolution of technology, bridging early craftsmanship with the mechanical wonders that would define the industrial age. Culturally, the music box remained a potent symbol of the interplay between human creativity and the mysteries that surround it. Its melodies continued to echo in artistic expressions, from literature and music to visual arts, influencing romantic and later movements that celebrated the uncanny and the sublime. The box's story became a metaphor for the enduring human quest to find harmony between reason and imagination, order and mystery, Communities beyond the original village adopted versions of the music box's tale, embedding it within their own folklore and traditions. It became a shared narrative that connected disparate regions through a common fascination with the unexplained. These stories preserved the music box's spirit, ensuring that its enigma remained alive even as the world around it transformed with rapid industrial and social change. Today, the music box stands as a testament to the profound impact that a single object can have on human thought and culture. It embodies the fragile boundary between life and mechanism, certainty and wonder. Its autonomous music continues to inspire those who seek to understand the subtle forces that shape existence, reminding us that the mysteries of the past remain vital to the present and future. The legacy of the music box encourages ongoing exploration of early technological enigmas, inviting scholars and enthusiasts to delve into the histories and philosophies surrounding such phenomena. It serves as a powerful reminder that behind every mechanical marvel lies a story, one that intertwines human creativity, cultural meaning, and the enduring allure of the unknown. In this way, the music box's tale continues to resonate as a symbol of the delicate dance between craftsmanship and mystery. Its melodies, once confined to a small village and the hands of a vanished clockmaker, have echoed through time, inspiring generations to listen closely and to embrace the questions that define our shared humanity. The music box remains an enduring emblem of the mysteries that lie just beyond the reach of knowledge, a silent song inviting us all to wonder,